Welcome to episode 104 of the Inside Byte. I'm your host, Tim Schaefer. I'm here with my co-host, Rudy. How you doing this week?
Hey, Tim. Doing great. Going on a nice, fun trip tomorrow to Universal, so I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah, otherwise things are great, man. How about you?
You're flying, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I know a lot of people have told me, hey, why not drive? I hate driving that far. So
Yeah, but that's pretty far drive. What would that
it
be
is.
like?
It is.
It would
Uh,
a
I
whole
want
day,
to
if not
say
2 days. You haven't gone, right? To like Universal in
um
Orlando and
I
all that.
have
Not
gone, but
Universal. Wait, where are you going? What parks exactly?
going to the Universal Islands of
Okay.
Adventure and Volcano Bay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I haven't been since I must have been like a early teenager or something, like a
Okay.
long time ago, So yeah, so essentially this will be like a brand new place for me, I don't
Yeah.
remember anything. I'm sure it's changed a ton in 20 years or whatever,
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I'm excited, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's ridiculously hot right now. Every day,
Oh,
I'm
I
telling
know.
you, like,
God.
even if I drive like 15, 20 minutes and my phone just sitting in my vehicle, not that like I have AC on my vehicle and everything, doesn't matter. Just the
Right.
just the sun beaming in through my windows, like whenever I grab my phone to walk out of the car, like it is just beaming hot, and then it won't even let me like use it because it's just too hot, and then I'm getting warnings all over the phone, extreme heat, and it's just like it's like 95 but feels like 103.
Right.
It's at the peak of crazy hot right now. So just I don't know, lots of water. That's all I could tell you because you're gonna need it.
All right. Well, I'm ready.
Just
I absolutely hate the
gigantic
heat, but
jugs of ice water just to
oh
bring
man,
around with you.
I'm gonna do
Actually,
my best.
technically, I don't even think you're supposed to drink like it super ice water. If it's that hot, it needs to be more
Hmm.
just like a little chill.
Just closer. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully those fast passes will help us out a bit. So
Let's get into main topic, and you have picking up new hobbies and interests. What are
yeah,
you thinking?
so I know we had talked in the past about hobbies that we have, right? So
Yeah.
to me, this is more like how do you go about starting something new, right? Everyone has their life; they're very comfortable with it, their day-to-day thing, right? So how do you decide, like, hey, I want to start this new hobby, this whatever it is? So let me give you the reason why I thought of this is because I was thinking to myself, like, my wife works all summer. I obviously don't. I just do some tutoring in the summer, and so I'd be like, I would find myself texting her a lot. I'm calling all my friends. People are busy. No one's picking up. I'm like, okay, Rudy, we got to find something new to do here. I know we have video games. That's fine. But, after a few hours of that, sometimes you want to
Yeah.
try something new. So I was like looking online, new hobbies / interests to pick up, whatever. And so I finally decided on I used to play a trumpet all through like, I don't know, let's say like middle school. And then I stopped. And then I picked up the piano and I did that for a number of years. And I really liked it. I was getting pretty good at it. But again, I stopped. So I was thinking, hey, maybe I could try to learn a new instrument. So my dad had this acoustic guitar that he's had for like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, and he played it for a while. He was like learning a little bit, and then he just got busy with other things, and he kind of stopped. And so I called my dad, and I was like, "Hey, Dad, I'm considering trying to maybe learn this or whatever." He's like, "Yeah, sure, come get it." So I grabbed it up. I brought it home, and I have not touched it yet, only because I know I'm going to go on vacation tomorrow. So I'm going to wait till I come back.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be my new project. And listen, I don't have this idea in my head of like, well, hey, pick it up, no problem. It's going to be easy. I know that's not the case, obviously, but I want to try to challenge myself, try to learn something new, and so yeah, that's what I landed on. My head was going through a number of things though. I was like, maybe I can go do like a boxing class. Maybe I can go do like a painting class. Maybe I can. Well, I was just like running through a million things, and I landed on that. So we'll see, man. Maybe it won't work, and I'll try something else. But maybe it will. Maybe that'd be a cool thing to try. So yeah, that's where I landed for now.
Well, my kids been doing piano the last 2 years, and I'm about to
Uh huh.
buy. I was being like, "What do you want as a new instrument? Like guitar, drums?" He's wanting drums, so I will be getting a drum set soon.
Okay.
And I'm
There we
gonna
go.
be going through that whole avenue of also trying to learn along with
Oh
my
man,
kid on
we're
this
about to
drum
start a
set.
band.
So yeah, there is some relation there. I
All right,
definitely
cool.
am all about learning a new instrument. That's a pretty great choice to
Yeah.
come upon, I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll I think it will be. I'm always trying to learn new things in life, but they're always on a smaller scale, right? Like I hear a word I don't know, I want to learn what it is, or some documentary about something I don't know about in history, fine. But I feel like this is like a
Yeah,
little
this
bigger.
is
The
something,
last
I don't
time,
know, a year or two before you're
yeah,
like
yeah,
efficient enough with it.
right. The last thing that I learned that I feel is was very challenging, took a lot of time. Besides my job, right? Learning how to be a good
Yeah.
teacher, that took time, and you're always learning on that job. But the last thing I could think of truly was learning how to drive stick, maybe. Which, of course, that didn't take a year or two, but
That's a few
it
months,
was
right?
it was yeah, probably like a month or two of
I honestly
really.
never been in a situation where I even had to pick up trying to do manual, but I don't
Mhm.
feel it would be too difficult. But I'm imagining, I don't know, a month or two.
It's I'll tell you now, it's not difficult to pick up the concept of what you need to do. The difficult part is the practice of it, right?
Habits, like bad
Oh
habits
yeah,
of
yeah. You're
automatic switching
gonna
over.
right. You're gonna when you first start learning stick, you're gonna have a lot of trouble starting up, like actually taking off, right? Because you have to find the balance of you push the clutch in, you put it in first gear, and then you want to find this perfect balance where you let go of the clutch, but at the same time you're starting to slowly depress the gas, and you find like a perfect like seesaw,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
the car takes off. At first, you're gonna take off like the car's gonna be rocking, you're
Super
gonna stall
jittery.
out.
Yeah.
Even when you're
Okay.
on the road, you're gonna be at a stop sign. Someone behind you's gonna start beeping. Hold on, I'm trying to turn on the car again. If you ever see a car on a hill, right? If you're behind a car ever on a
Yeah.
hill and you see it kind
They're
of
always
rocking
rolling
back and
back.
forth, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's how you know it's a stick shift. And so,
Yeah.
so sometimes I know the struggle, so I'll never like disparage someone, but sometimes I'll see someone in front of me and I'll hear their car turning on again. I'm like, oh, okay, they're still going through it. I get it. I remember those days.
Yeah.
Even now, after how many years has it been? I got it in 2014, so it's been almost 10 years, and even occasionally, very, very rarely, I'll even stall out for a sec. You're so used to it that you just kind of, I don't know, you lose focus for a sec. So,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm really determined to try to learn this. I feel like I'm gonna have to make sure that I dedicate myself to listen every day, at least some amount of time. You got to sit down, you got to mess with this. And I have a friend who's like an instrument expert. It's crazy. This guy plays like 5 different instruments. He like went to school for it. He knows all this
Nice.
music theory and all this stuff, right? And he's a good friend of mine. So I asked him, I'm like, hey, what do you think is the proper way for me to start? Do I start, learning chords and scales and all that stuff? And he told me personally for him, he thought that the best thing that he ever did was he just found a simple song, like from a band that he likes. And he learned the song from looking at tabs and stuff. And then from there, he said he like started to pick up the fundamentals from there, which I thought was an interesting approach. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do.
That's technically what I did. Like, I had a guitar when I was in high school, and I was in like 3 bands in total. 1 was at the tail end of high school and 2 after. But I learned a few songs on guitar. But what I did is I sang, and then I just learned. I just looked up tabs and memorized maybe like 10 songs in total throughout those few years. But I never actually went the extra level of actually learning the music, which I should have. But the tabs did help a lot, and at least get me a grasp on what I'm doing with the instrument. And then once I got used enough to that, I could have transitioned to actually learning it for real from the tabs. And I do feel it's a good first step. Just don't just stop there and rely on tabs. You have to have to follow through.
So sorry, this might be a silly question, but I don't even know what is a tab. What does that even mean?
It just tells you exactly what you're gonna hit next. So it almost shows it's almost like a diagram of like your finger's gonna go here and you're gonna hit this part of the string, and then you're gonna hit this part of the string, and it's become a memorization game, not you actually reading the music correctly. You're just reading a sheet that's like a cheat sheet somebody made on where to put your finger and what to hit next.
So I wonder, I mean, clearly my friend knows way more than me about this. So I wonder what his thinking is here. Like, is it maybe just something good to get you into it and like enjoy
into the
instrument
itself before even learning the real deal, getting you to just play around with the instrument and start enjoying it, because that's more important than anything. It's just having fun with it and knowing if you like it or not. And then once you learn the tabs and you realize it's good and fun and it is something you're into, then actually start to learn it. You know?
I see. That actually makes a lot of sense. All right. I mean, I give a lot of credit to people who can, you know, have mastered multiple instruments. They can just listen to a song and, you know, slowly put it together. I'm like, wow, that's crazy stuff, man. So, so that's my project for now. Hopefully you guys don't hear me next week say, I didn't, or sorry, not next week, but the following week say, I didn't play it at all. Yeah, I'm done with it. But I don't think so. I don't think I will do that. So
we'll I mean, with me, it's most people know. If not, I could run through the gauntlet. But in terms of anything new, I already feel like I have too much on my plate, because I am trying to do the music stuff with my kid. I'm trying to also just make beats for myself. I'm also using my camera a lot, so any video editing, just production on video and audio stuff, always messing around with. Always messing my camera in terms of just photography as well. I'm going down the music rabbit hole. It's the whole hiking stuff I've already brought up before, doing that a lot. Yeah. We just went yesterday we went to a lake. The lake was close in at like 7 o'clock, so then we went over through some trails to like the river. And my kid was with me, and we were out there till like, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours, went home when it hit dark. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy going down trails or rivers, lakes, just sort of being out and about there.
Do you like the last time that you can think of that maybe you picked up a new hobby or something? How did you go about it? Did it just random? Did you see something that made you think of it? Did you randomly just think, I want to do something?
It always stems from a previous interest, right? So like, let's say like, okay, I'm into music in general, or maybe it just is as simple as I'm into audio is normal. Because when I was real little, I'm talking 6, 7 years old, I remember having this R2D2 little Walkman thing that I would record on and record like audio skits with like brothers and friends and goofing around a lot on that, or recording songs off the radio and then playing it back on there. So I was doing stuff like this since I was real little, but it broadens from that, right? To where when you get older, it's like, okay, now it's learning beats on my computer, or it's learning recording and editing, and it all stems from that like spot when you were a kid just fooling around with the Walkman. I feel all of these sort of hobbies are like maybe just hiking. Maybe when you're a kid you were just going down trails a lot and enjoying that, and then sort of stems from that when you get older. Skateboarding, I mean, I've been skateboarding since I was 10, 11 years old, so I still go out there all the time and longboard. I just got a new longboard for my kid, so now we've been going more than ever. Because he's got a board he really likes. So I think it all stems from small seeds from childhood. I mean, it doesn't have to, but usually that's what takes place.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it's an exciting time though when you decide to learn something new. You know, it's like you feel yourself slowly starting to get. It's kind of on a way smaller scale. It's kind of how I felt when I picked up this arcade stick. Like when I first put this thing in front of me, I'm like, how am I ever going to do this? And, you know, obviously I think we're the same in the sense that you're playing a game. You don't really like to lose, you know, you want to do well. Right. So I'm playing, I'm getting my butt whooped over and over and over. And my friends are, you know, trying to be reassuring. Oh, you know, you got the new arcade stick. I mean, this is to be expected, but it's like so frustrating. So when you finally, you know, you win one, and you start getting faster with it. And now like this thing feels normal to me. It's like, it will always happen as long as you put in the work. But yeah, it's tough at first, man. But it feels great when you.
I have a lot of memories at SNK. It's like Capcom vs SNK 2001 Millennium Edition is I think what it was called, and it was back on PS2. But I had a fight stick back then, and I used it a lot and loved it. And I thought I got pretty good at it, and I played like 2 or 3 years of that. And anytime someone brings up a fight stick, I think back on that and like. You know, I did have a lot of fun. I think I really could pick this back up. And I had no issues doing any chord circles and all of that mess when I had an arcade stick, because it's a whole different tactical feel, and it's kind of like, it's hard to not do it, you know, once you have a stick, you can just naturally do it. Because I guess you can feel every motion compared to just a joystick, where you kind of have to, like, it almost feels like a guessing game, and you're not quite sure if you got it right when it comes to like a normal controller. But
yeah, no, I totally agree. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
Rock, buddy, why don't you just ask Abby? Close it. All right.
But yeah, I'm trying to think what that next would be, because okay, it's already like anything music stuff, skateboarding. I'm even about to get to, so it's like, okay, new connections that I've been forming recently. Somebody is wanting to, he is a photographer for different like music venues. So like there's like a place called like the Handlebar. He'll be the photographer there, taking photos of like the band's different shows. The Vinyl, he'll go and do it there. So he's going to be start like having interviews with different music artists while they're in these venues, and he's needing somebody to edit the materials. So he's like, hey, you know, that's probably going to be a new project I start working on, or doing other stuff related to podcasts, whether it's my own or with somebody else, because of what I've been doing prior when it comes to podcasts. So it always seems to sort of just like spread from these seeds of just prior knowledge or prior interest, and sort of expanding.
Right. Yeah, no, I think you nailed it. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting to see, you know, different people approaching these different hobbies, you know, or interests or whatever, because you might have someone who tries something that we don't really find that difficult at all, and they completely fail, but then they'll do something you're like, okay, there's no way I could ever do that. You know, I have a friend on another, like, you know, Jesse, who's been on with us a few times. I was talking to him one time, and I always like mess with Jesse about, come on, Jesse, stop being an old gamer. Well, you can't play Dark Souls or Elden Ring anymore. Like, come on, it's not that hard, whatever, right? I'll mess with him about it. But then he'll turn around and tell me, oh yeah, I beat every Halo game on Legendary, you know, with the skulls on. I'm like, see, I can't do that. To me, that's like everyone is a sponge. Everyone takes a million hits. You die in one hit. It doesn't feel fun to me.
I mean, somehow, I beat them all on Legendary just to say I did, but I don't want to say it's something somebody should do.
Like, Jesus.
I just did it because I feel, I don't know, I just wanted to, right? But it was, they're definitely just very spongy and take forever to kill, and you're incredibly weak, like 2 or 3 shots and you're dead. It's a whole ordeal. But I did it just to say I did it. I didn't actually do it with Infinite though, but I would like to. Like, I did like the campaign of that. But everything else I did in terms of, well, 5. Sorry, I fell off of 5 real hard. I didn't like the campaign at all, so I didn't do that either. So I guess 1 through 4. But either way,
fair enough.
But yeah, I'm trying to think like something, just picking up a new hobby way outside of the realm. Like, I don't know, landscaping. I can't see me doing something like that. You know, I'm trying to think of, it seems anytime I'm picking up a hobby or interest, it seems to somehow connect to something prior that I was into. And it sort of spreads from that core, is what it always seems to be.
Yeah, agree. So, yeah, just wanted to bring that up, you know, see what you thought about all that.
But yeah, I mean, one, in terms of just you learning a new instrument, yes, you totally should. I will always recommend anyone to do so. Even if you're just someone that's not even into it whatsoever, it's still just a good thing to go through in terms of building character, understanding, like, a lot of fundamentals to life. I don't know. There's always something you can pull from to learning a new instrument.
Yeah. No, it'll be cool. So I'm excited about it.
It's hard and boring at first. That's all.
yeah, I'm sure.
Well, let's get into the news here.
All right.
I guess I'll start here with Final Fantasy XVI reaches 3 million physical shipments and digital copies sold. I don't know what is that just meaning like, It got
sold
shipped to the
through, or is
store,
it?
but not quite bought from the shelf. Is that what it means by physical
Let's
shipments? And then digital copies sold. Like, does that mean like at least 3 million digital copies were sold, and on top of that, there was physical shipments?
3 million copies during launch. It says sold here. We're delighted to announce we
Every story
shipped and
says
digitally
this same
sold
thing
3
because
million
their Twitter
copies.
said this. Their Twitter said
Right.
as their official statement, and everyone's just pulling from this official statement. So it's not like you could see more context to what they're maybe getting at,
but
unless
hold on,
somebody just explains it better.
It's funny because their post says, "We're delighted to announce we've shipped and digitally sold 3 million copies of Final Fantasy 16 on PlayStation 5. Thank you for support." But then the image right beneath it just says, "Final Fantasy 16, 3 million copies sold. Thank you." So I'm wondering that
maybe
that
we
whole
can just say 3
shipping-
million copies sold.
I would think so.
Yeah,
That's weird.
I don't know.
The solid sales number should be considered with the caveat. Oh, it's only available on PS5. Obviously, shifted 3.5 million copies in 3 days. Oh no, sorry, that was 7 remake. Okay. Well, I don't know, but just for context, it sold 15 sold great. 5 million on its first day, but that was on PS4 and Xbox One. So
yeah,
two platforms, obviously. So yeah.
But yeah, that's
good.
It's
you know,
just,
no matter.
Yeah.
We'll talk about our thoughts later, but no matter what I think or anyone thinks, I mean, it seems like people are liking this game, you know? So that's good.
Yep.
All right. Next up, Scorn. You know, brings me back to the old squishy sounds. It's releasing on PS5, fall 2023. I will just remind everyone again that this is a game I don't feel is for everyone. Do I think it's a good game? I thought it was a good game. Do I have an objection? I'll start arguing with you if you say it's a bad game. No, I can accept that. I just think you got to just try it and see what you think. That's all.
I don't think others even think it's bad. I just think they're like, yeah, this ain't for me. I'm not into this. Yeah. But to just look at it and think that it's bad, I don't think many people would even do that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot going on that I give them a ton of credit for. And there's some things that they could vastly improve, but
yeah,
it definitely is a game I have not forgotten about, put it that way.
Stray will launch on Xbox, the counter to this, and Xbox One on August 10th. So there's that. They're each getting their little indie swan song, not swan song, because Generation is going steady. Anyway, but yes, Stray, I mean, I think Scorn's better than Stray, to be honest. I think Stray... it's cute, sure, and like the environment's cool, I guess, but it's just, I don't know.
Yeah,
there's just not much to it outside of just some cool world building.
Yeah, I played both of these games, and both of them I liked for different reasons. But yeah, I'm glad they're both coming to the opposite platform. That's good.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so Tom Warren from Xbox tweeted this, which I thought was hilarious. Like, I love that Xbox is continuing to be very tongue-in-cheek when it comes to pretty much anything they've been posting recently, whether it's about the court going on, which we haven't talked about in a long time, and I've been purposely avoiding talking about, like, the FTC stuff and whatever when it comes to Xbox acquiring Activision, just because until I just get some concrete stuff, I don't really enjoy just, well, this is what happened today, and we know, 1% more than what we knew yesterday, and I just keep updating with small little stuff like that. I'd rather just have a few big updates than a whole bunch of tiny stuff. Now, what's going on right now is pretty big, I guess. So I can say in the levels of, like, yes, they're in the middle of the court case right now. I think they're like a week in. And even if it doesn't go through, though, that doesn't mean they can't do it. That just means that they're going to have a lot more hurdles and a lot more fees and a lot more stipulations when it comes to doing what they're trying to do or stuff like that. Anyway, but we can get on to that. And I'm not also, like, a lawyer or anything, or know too much on law in general when it comes to the United States. So that's another reason why I just don't get into it much, because I just feel like I'll be blabbing on about stuff I definitely
Sure,
don't know
sure.
too much about whatsoever. So that's
No,
also a big
I get
reason
that.
of why I don't talk about it. But this is interesting though. So Sony redacted a bunch of stuff in a legal document so the public couldn't see things. Well, we were able to see in this document where they try to black out over numbers, but you can still see the numbers under the black of two pretty major things. Of they're
Dude,
trying
that
to
is so
hide the
funny.
cost of Horizon Forbidden West and The Last of Us Part 2, and just know that like Horizon Forbidden West cost 220 million. The Last of Us Part 2 was around 212 million. So now we just have an idea on how much Sony is spending when it comes to
Uh-huh.
their AAA games, which is just good context to have when we talk
I
about
mean,
this
I don't
stuff.
even know why that needs to be hidden in the first place. You know,
It,
it doesn't really seem like
yeah.
why is the
Why
video
do
game
you think
industry so
Sony's
secretive?
trying to hit? No, it's Sony themselves trying to do it. Why do they hide that? Why do you think they hide that?
I truly have no really idea why they would want to, but in general,
Maybe they
compared to
want
other,
to show they're making more money than what they are. Like maybe if they spend 100 million on the game and then they sell these many X copies, it looks better for them. But
yeah,
if they spend more than what maybe we thought they would spend, then it doesn't look as good as profits. But either way, it's still both of these games still made great profits all
oh
around. But
yeah.
I guess it's not as much if you want to think that, oh, maybe it shouldn't have spent that much on the game to
I mean,
make. But
Jesus, the Horizon Forbidden West was $70 a pop. I mean, and I don't know how many copies it's
yeah,
sold so far, but
it did good, right? I mean, what was it like?
the
I'm gonna guess 5 million copies. That's my guess.
8.4 million copies. I mean,
Okay.
Jesus, that's
So I mean, you do the math there. Let's
8.4.
just say $50. Consider 60 considering sales. Let's just like bring it down $10 because there is a lot of sales all the time on it. So let's just say 7 million copies times 60. That's 420.
Well,
So
I mean, that's Jesus. That's well, I did 70 and it was
they
588
basically
million dollars.
close to double of like what they spent to what they made. So
If it was 70, it'd be like 3 times the amount they made.
yeah.
But geez, yeah. So I think it's okay. I think they'll be all right.
But
All
I mean,
right.
I guess that's not like, I guess they're thinking in the realm of like Epic and people making like playing Fortnite and whatever
Sure,
Roblox and
but
just the amount of money that
it's hard to compare to Fortnite and Roblox. I mean,
I
those guys
know.
are like, that they print money. There's like nothing anyone can do about
It
that.
makes me wonder, does Sony cover up numbers because they're thinking of just juggernauts like that and they don't feel that?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Excuse me. All right. Well, next up, Baldur's Gate 3 re-rolls initiative advancing PC release date but delaying PS5. Man, this is such an interesting one to me because I wanted to play this, but I have way too many games to play right now. There's no way. So, yeah, it was initially planned for August 31st. Developer Larian Studios is advancing the PC release date to August 3rd while delaying the PS5 version to September 6th. According to the most recent community update, the change was done to prioritize release in order of platform readiness. More specifically, the team needed a little more time to get the PS5 version up to 60 frames per second. That's good. I don't see anything wrong with this, and moving it up, that's a really nice thing to do for people who are really excited. So,
And they're responding to people yet again on like, well, where's Xbox and all this? And they're saying they're releasing, but they're having a lot of issues because of the Series S. And maybe because they are also just trying to make sure they hit 60 on every platform and they don't want to have like a 30 FPS thing. But I don't know why they're set on this particular game hitting 60. I mean, I respect it, but this is a turn-based game. I don't it looks cooler in 60, but it doesn't need to be for gameplay reasons. The real reason most of us want 60 or 120 is because of gameplay smoothness. But like when it comes to turn-based, it's not that big of a deal if you released it at 30. I don't think it would matter too much. But I mean, I definitely do it. I'm just saying I'm a little surprised. I guess that's all considering the genre it's in.
yeah. I mean, it will be interesting to see. People are super hyping this game, so I'm curious to see how it all ends. And especially
Well,
when it
it's
comes to
because that
console.
Divinity Original Sin popped off
Yeah.
so hard and everyone loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was
Mm-hmm.
great. It's just too much.
That's
It's
how I
hard.
felt. Very good
It's
game.
not
Just too much,
actually
man.
hard. It's just hard because it's just so much information and so
Right.
much
Right.
learning, and the learning curve's real steep on it.
Yep. Yep.
And there's just learning it aside. I mean, there's just so much like content and talking to this person, like flooding you with quests and information, and I don't know, you feel like you're barely getting anywhere. Like when I play Zelda and I just kind
That's
of
how I
get
felt.
lost and
God.
explore, you know how it can feel a little overwhelming. This
Sure.
like Baldur's Gate 3 or the Divinity games, I mean, I'm at an all-time high of like incredibly overwhelmed and don't know which direction
That's how
I
I
should be
felt.
going in.
I felt like I was
Far
making
more
no
than Zelda
progress.
ever gave me. Yeah.
Every time I played, I felt like I was making no progress.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, on a side note, just before I forget, I was going to ask you. So I haven't been playing Zelda a lot lately. Again, not anything to do with the quality of the game. The game's amazing. I just have been like Final Fantasy got its hooks in me. I want to try to truck through that, whatever. And I have plenty of time for Zelda. So,
well, I am
what,
pausing on Zelda because I am wanting to finish 16 because
yeah,
I've played and beat most of the series and I do want to complete it, and I don't want to go
right.
back to Zelda until I'm done. So I'm there with
Yeah. Okay, good. So what I'm wondering is, and I could be missing something, whatever, but I feel that when I have been playing Zelda, whenever I'm doing the main missions, I find that every one of the main missions will say something like, talk to this person, whatever, I'll do it. And then it'll say, hey, if only we could find this, insert whatever name of whatever thing. They give you some vague thing. And then I feel like I have no clue where to go. I feel like now I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like in Breath of the Wild, it was clear at least what I had to do or where I had to go. This time, I don't know if I'm missing things or what, but I'm feeling like whenever I have no idea where to go, whenever they tell me, and I don't want to look it up, but I feel like, am I missing? Am I not looking closely enough? Am I not?
I think you should watch Happy Console Gamer's take on this game because he's saying the same things you're saying, and I was saying these same things as well. And after I watched that video, it just let me accept these facts of you are going to be lost for the, let's say, first 20, 30 hours playing this game. You're not going to know what you're doing, where you should be going, what's even happening. And it's okay. Just get lost in it. Don't try to make sense of it. Don't try to be stuck to a certain path, trying to get to a certain goal. I think you're playing it wrong when you play that way.
Okay, so
I think you should just forget it all. Forget any quest. Forget any objective you have to do. And just roam. You will discover secrets. You will discover items naturally. There's so much content to find. And most of it is so good anyway that you're not, once you stop caring about an objective or a goalpost and just have fun in the sandbox, that's where all the fun lies. And you'll naturally start discovering points of interest anyway. And you'll start getting stuff checked off of a checklist just by feeling like you're detouring. But you're always going to feel like you're detouring the entire time you play this game. So you just have to accept that fact that it's okay to detour, just let you detour, just do something that feels completely pointless, and you'll still find something of value regardless.
Okay.
And you just have to lose yourself to it.
Do you think that when I do go back to it, for example, you had like the 4 interest points at the spot that I'm in. I went over to Zora, right? I got a little bit into it, and now I'm kind of stuck. Do you recommend maybe just going to one of the other 3 interest points and just keep going?
Yeah. I feel you don't even have to do that. I feel I would, for your sake, do the top left one first.
Top left. Okay.
Just because that gets you a lot of great tools that you can use for the future more than any other spot would, in terms of beginner stuff and understanding the flow of the game. But outside of those reasons, you still don't even need to. You could just literally like close your eyes, point at the random point in the screen and be like, I'm going to go there. And if you do that, you're going to find something cool there.
All right.
And
very
you're going to get enjoyment from the game that way instead of trying to have a goal in mind.
Right. All right. I'm definitely gonna be revisiting it after Final Fantasy, but by no means is it a game that I'm like,
But
I don't
I
want to go
feel
back to
if you
some part of
watch
it.
that review and hear his explanation, he words a lot better than I do. And after that, it really, because I felt like by the time I watched his take on it, I was already hitting points to where I'm just kind of done trying to do objectives and I'm just kind of losing myself anyway. But once I heard him saying all that, it sort of reconfirmed to me of like, oh yeah, I can totally just take the game this way. And I've been doing that for what feels like a month now.
Gotcha.
And because of that, I've been enjoying it way more than I ever have. Because
Okay.
I don't have anything in mind of what I need to do next.
Sounds good. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry for the tangent there, but I just was thinking of that randomly. But all right. So next up, we got looking at the top 10 best-selling games of May 2023. So some of these are no surprises, obviously. Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, Hogwarts Legacy, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Dead Island 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, MLB The Show 23, FIFA 23, and Mario Kart 8. I'll say there's one
Two
in
more.
this group.
My Resident Evil 4
I'm
remake
sorry.
and Far Cry 6. It got cut off.
Okay, so out of these, is there one that stands out to you that you're surprised it sold on this list? Because to me, there is.
Not a single one. No,
let
me look. Hold on.
Okay. Tell me which one you think I'm thinking of.
Dead Island 2.
Dead Island 2. I was just surprised. Yeah. I just didn't. These other ones. I just
think because it's so new, I feel it's like it's gonna hang in this top 10 for a month or two and then fall out. That's what I'm predicting.
Like Legend of Zelda, Hogwarts, Star Wars, Call of Duty. Those are like no brainers. Yeah. MLB, FIFA, no brainers. Resident Evil 4. Again, I'm not surprised. But man, I don't know.
Far Cry 6 is a little surprising. Maybe it's
too.
Constantly on sale. Well, I know it's constantly on sale. You can get it like $15.
Oh yeah,
most of the time. So I think that's why it kind of hangs in there. But
all right.
And then a top 10 best-selling games of 2023 as a whole so far. Okay. And then Hogwarts Legacy #1, Zelda #2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Resident Evil 4 Remake, MLB The Show 23, Dead Island 2 in the top 10 of 2023. So I kind of take back what I was saying prior. There's got to be more to that.
I guess.
It's already hidden in the top 10 of the year so far as a whole.
Crazy.
That's pretty wild. I have yet to even play it. I mean, I don't really have... Everyone seems to say the same thing. Yeah, it's a good game. It doesn't do anything unique. Everything it does pretty solid. And if you like this style of game, you'll probably like it. But it's nothing to really, I don't know, be super passionate over. But I don't know. I'm still always thinking about this, wanting to give it a shot. But it just can't be anytime soon, I'm telling you. I got too much that I care about instead. I still have yet to even Resident Evil 4 Remake. Like, I have it installed on my computer, and I want to get to it. But right now, it is Diablo, Zelda, Final Fantasy. So I really don't want to play Remake right now until I at least finish one of those other three. So
it'll be there for you, no worries. All right, next up, Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2, Rumor. Metal Gear Solid 4 and Peace Walker and 5 will all be in it. I mean, if this is true, that's an awesome package. I mean, people are gonna love this. That's so cool. And the fact that Metal Gear Solid 4 has been stuck on the same platform for so long, this will be a nice change. So
yeah, I include a screenshot here of somebody basically like checking out the site, like behind the scenes of the site, how it's structured and made with the HTML, and it's looking as if there's placements for 4, 5, and Peace Walker as a part of this Volume 2 collection. So I think it's going to be the case because it's behind the scenes in a Konami website on itself too. So it's a little more than just like a rumor. It's more of like, I guess this couldn't be true because they could maybe change something. But I think it's going to happen because it makes sense. 1, 2, and 3 in one collection. 4 and 5 in the next, along with Peace Walker. I believe this.
Yep, same here.
The only thing is just 4. Like, I just hope it's true so I get to play 4, especially if I can play. Well, see, that's the thing. This is where I feel. No, I don't know. I was gonna say maybe we could be able to play it in 60 FPS on like a newer console, but I'm starting to take that back because like even emulation wise, like a lot of PS3 games are running no problem when it comes to PC emulation at this point. But Metal Gear Solid 4 is still one of those like really difficult to get goings, and 30 FPS seems to be what it's kind of tied to in terms of how the game functions. So we still may only have 30 FPS when it comes to that game, but I guess as long as it's smooth, it'll be all right. But meaning, I was like, that would be pretty cool playing 4 or 5 and Peace Walker on Switch. I'd play 5 on Switch, as weird as that sounds. I think it could. I mean, it came out on the PS3 and 360. I don't know if you knew that, but when 5 came out, it did release on those platforms as well.
Yeah, no, I remember.
Like, it could technically run on Switch, and as long as like 30 is the that's the thing though. Like with 5, you kind of need 60. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a gameplay focused video game. It's like, you know, I don't know. I'm curious to see when they reveal this though. If so.
Anyway,
all right. And
but yeah, I'm just super excited because again, I'm always hoping for a way to play Metal Gear Solid 4, and it looks like this may actually be happening. So,
yep. Awesome news. All right, so let's talk about some games we're playing here. I'll do the other ones first because I want to talk about Final Fantasy. We're both playing that after.
Okay.
But I've still been playing some Street Fighter 6. I have not picked up another character yet. I feel like I'm determined to just focus on this one character now, make her really good. So that's going well. I feel like when I'm done with Final Fantasy and Zelda and these other games, I'll probably start investing more time into, training and Street Fighter and things like that. Like you have to with these kinds of games. So yeah, still a great game. Awesome. Still loving it. I've been watching a few shows. Secret Invasion is the new Marvel show. They're 2 episodes deep right now. And yes, I know a lot of people are over Marvel. I get it. But I hadn't watched anything Marvel in a while. So I turned it on and it was really good. It was like, you still have to remember a lot of the stuff in the movies. So basically, it's like this comic book arc, I guess, where these Krulls, which are like those green alien, they were in a few of the movies, where like they're sort of, they've been displaced from their home, and it's due to a lot of the actions of the humans on Earth and everything. And so they're like fighting back now, right? It's almost like they're like a terrorist group, and they're trying to find a way to take over Earth. And the first episode was really good. Like pulled me in. I was like, oh, this is pretty good stuff, actually. Like Marvel, sometimes when they do like their more serious stuff, I think they can pull it off well, So yeah, that's 2 episodes in so far. I'm on episode 2. I think it's great so far. So I'm gonna keep watching that. The other one was Ted Lasso, which you've heard of Ted Lasso, right? Have you?
I watched the first episode. I did like it. I want to watch it. It's just making time for it.
It's a really cool show. It's very uplifting at times. Sometimes it gets down in the dumps, but it's a good show at sort of overcoming that, And what's his name? Jason Sudeikis, the main character. Man, he does that role so well, So yeah, definitely one I would recommend people check it out. I'm on the final season, of the whole series, I guess. So yeah, I'm watching that now. Yes, and now to our Final Fantasy 16. So I've been playing more. I don't know how many hours I'm in, but I'm a decent length in. Well, maybe you could tell me in relation to you.
I'm about 12, 13 hours in.
Okay, so let me see. I got past the part where, and again, I'm not saying anything. I got past the part where a big revelation happened, right? You figure something out.
There's a few of them, so.
Well, okay, so.
Try to throw another hint.
All right. There's a big revelation that happens in relation to someone that you've been pursuing.
Okay.
Right. I got past that. I continued on to a part where there was a bridge that needed to be repaired in order for me to continue past there. Yep. And I'm a little ways past that.
Okay.
So I don't know, how far that is compared to you, but the game is so actually just because it'll be easier.
I'm about 3-4 hours ahead.
Okay. So just because I feel that I was able to put it succinctly in this, I was texting with some friends about. They asked, "Oh, how's Final Fantasy?" So I'm going to read what I wrote. This is what I said. I said, "It's the strangest thing for me personally. On one hand, the characters, the story, the visuals, I love. They're all awesome. On the other hand, this just doesn't feel like a Final Fantasy game at all sometimes. Just to be clear, that's not necessarily a bad thing. The bad part is that the reason it doesn't feel like Final Fantasy at times is because they stripped it of pretty much all RPG elements and didn't replace it with anything to take its place of equal or greater value. It's so weird. The combat is really fun, but there isn't a focus on elemental weaknesses and strengths. Weapons aren't as important and pretty much just increased numbers. The accessory slots are so basic that I almost couldn't believe it. The side quests so far have been pretty lackluster. And finally, there's barely an exploration. The extent of my exploration so far has been that I'm in an open field with some enemies and there might be an item in the distance. I go run over to it and get 5 gil, lol. I'm by no means crashing this game, but I am being honest and saying that there's definitely some big problems with it. That being said, I'm still enjoying my time with it and I'm going to see it through to the end. So that's kind of what's on my mind with this game right now. You know, I don't know. What do you think, Rand?
It's not a very good RPG, but it's a very good character action game. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. And again, I don't want anyone to think that my problem is that this game is different. I don't have a problem with that. I guess they took out some of the things that make Final Fantasy so good, you know? It's like you have this awesome character. I kind of wish
this was a side game of like, don't call it Final Fantasy 16, call it Final Fantasy something, right? And then this is just what the game is. Right. I'd be a lot happier with that. Now, I guess I can get over the fact that it's titled Final Fantasy 16. Why would it matter too much? But I guess because my expectations of just excitement of just like, oh, I can't wait to get in a whole big, nice, awesome Final Fantasy world again and do X, Y, and Z. And we don't get to do any of those things. So
I'm with you.
It disappoints you because of that.
It's just, you know, even in, okay, so some people make comparisons to 13 and 15, right? Okay, 13 I was not a huge fan of, but even 13, it had a system of the way that you would equip your abilities and upgrade them and everything. And I felt it was way deeper than this. Even equipping your items, I felt was way deeper than this.
So the weapon system, the leveling up system, the job system, all of that in 13 was actually incredibly deep. And I found a lot of enjoyment going down that rabbit hole of trying to figure out what's best to equip with what character and what class this character should be and all of that. All of that's not here in 16.
Yeah, it's the strangest thing, man. Like, I'm sitting there, you know, looking at my my weapons and my like trinkets and stuff, and I just realized, like, wow, there's no need for me to keep any of this stuff. It doesn't matter. It's all just
every 3 or 4 hours you're gonna be able to buy a new sword that's a little stronger than your last sword, or be able to go to the blacksmith and be like, oh, I can make you a better sword. And then again, every 3 or 4 hours you get a little bump in some numbers on how strong your sword is or how good your little bracer is. But that's about it. There's nothing more complicated than that.
Oh man, like, you know, upgrading some of the abilities and mastering them, like, okay, this makes the combat a little cooler, but I feel like so far at least there's not really enough. I don't even find myself switching that much between the two powers, because I just feel like, I don't know, I just don't really need it. But the thing that really got me the most, though, again, still enjoying the game, but one of the things that killed me is like I'm running through this open field. I'm like, okay, this must be what Tim was talking about, where like kind of opens up a little bit. I'm like, all right. So I'm running through. I see enemies on all around me. I'm like, okay. And the first bad sign I had was that I didn't have any interest in fighting the enemies. It's like, I don't really want to fight them. It's like, whatever. Okay. But I keep going. Then I see in the distance, I see like a little like shiny thing. Oh, okay. Well, that's got to be a good item. I go over. It's like bloody fang or something. I'm like, what the heck? Okay, wait. So I'm going to go explore to find just that.
Yes, the loot you find is not good. It is like 2 gil. It is fang, like you're saying. At best, you find a potion.
And it's like, dude, so I go to get this item for what? To eventually make a weapon that will give me plus 10 stats? It's like there's no excitement with the weapons. It's not like
incentive.
I think of pretty much any other Final Fantasy that I've played, and I'm like, oh man, this weapon is so rare. It only drops from this person. Or to get this weapon, you have to do this crazy quest and get it in 2 parts and put it together. It's like there's no, I don't care at all about the weapon. You know, this makes me think of Cyberpunk, which, as you know, we both enjoyed. Like, I love so much about Cyberpunk. The one part it was lacking in, though, was I didn't care about what you're equipping. For the most part, there were exceptions. I didn't really care what I was equipping, but the game had so many other RPG awesome mechanics that I was like, I can look past that, you know? So this is the strangest experience I've had with the game in a long time, because I'm with you. I had this crazy idea in my head, like, oh my God, when this game comes out, Tim and I are both going to be knee deep in a new Final Fantasy. Man, that experience you cannot replicate, right? And now it's like, I'm liking it. I'm playing it every day, but it's not what I thought at all. So
I remember feeling like disappointment with 12, and
all right,
that like was hard. Like that wasn't even that big of a disappointment. It was just a little bit of one with me. And but I'm trying to imagine, like with this game, I was like, this game's missing so many factors of what I love about the series. Now, again, like I guess we can just go back to the point of, maybe we just have to, I guess, not see this as Final Fantasy 16 and trick our mind into forget it's even Final Fantasy, and let's have fun with this action not platformer, just, I don't know, action fighter character game thing with a good story. But even in that scope, other games do it better, like Devil May Cry itself or Bayonetta or whatever. Like, there's not many, but there's probably 5 or 6 games that do a lot better job at the combat than this game. I won't say I do enjoy switching between I actually have 3, and I switch between them pretty often, and I like the skills in each, and I do enjoy the combat a lot when it comes to switching different elements and getting different like pros and cons on different monster types and all that. I think that's fun, but the depth in, again, a Bayonetta or a Devil May Cry is going to be a lot further down its combat systems than this would be.
Oh yeah.
So I guess the biggest strength here wouldn't even be that. I guess it would be just its story and lore of the Final Fantasy being a part of this game. Of just like, I don't know, the summons and the chocobos and whatever Final Fantasy relations of just the theming around the game.
Right.
It's pretty cool. I do like all that. So, but that's about its biggest strength. So, yeah, it's not a bad game by any means. It does everything pretty good outside of the RPG elements I think are actually bad. But it still doesn't do anything great outside of, I guess, visuals. Visuals are great.
Oh, visuals are great, for sure.
And story. So let's just say, like, it's writing and what happens in the plot and its visuals. That's where the greatness lies. And
agreed. I agree with that. So yeah, it's an inch.
But I want more from a game than just that.
Right.
I want some depth in its combat. I want some more depth in its RPG elements. I want some more depth in exploring just different systems, because it's a video game, and that's why I play them. I don't know.
Right. I think you have certain expectations too. You know, there are games that I've played that have a good story, and everything else is meh, and I'm okay with it. This is a good game still, right? But Final Fantasy, it's like, come on, man, you know what you have here. This is like From Software putting out a game. It's a good game, but the combat is not great anymore, and it's not deep. And, you know, it's like, no, we would not be okay with that. So, you know, I'm holding this series to the same standard. That's all. So we'll see. We'll see how we all shake out on it.
To know that Final Fantasy Rebirth hits real soon.
Yes.
So I don't have to wait too long to get the experience I'm really craving for.
Right. And man, that's going to have an interesting effect. You know, Square Enix making both of these games, it's like people, I think, are going to play Rebirth, and they're going to be like, this is what I want.
Even the combat is better in Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Dude, in Final Fantasy VII Remake,
margin.
Oh my God, it's making me mad and happy at the same time to even talk about this. When I played Final Fantasy VII Remake, I would go into those battles, and I was like, forget the nostalgia. I was like, yo, this is so awesome. I'm concentrating hard the whole time.
To Tifa punching, to Cloud sword powers, to Ares.
I was
like,
I was constantly shuffling between all of them. I'm equipping different weapons. I'm saving up for my limit break. I'm strategically using items. When I play Final Fantasy 16 Battle, it can be cool sometimes. It's like real epic. The music swelling. You know, a boss fight. Okay. But I'm not feeling
But it's just one character with some pretty simple skills compared to Final Fantasy VII Remake, which Rebirth, you then get to add Red onto that. You then get to add Yuffie onto that. And imagine switching between someone with like shurikens to red with all of its fire, tiger power stuff, and rage, and switching with Barrett with his gun, and Cloud with his magic and his powerful sword, and Aerith with her healing powers and her magic capabilities, and then Tifa being up close and personal with like punching and kicking and all that. Like they all have a lot of really unique and cool like pros and cons to each, and strategizing while you're having really fun, fast combat. And there's so much depth there compared to just one character with what you can only do like 2 skills per each power that you can even equip at a time. So even though you have 30 or 40 to choose from, you can only equip 2 from that. I'm like, that's pretty stupid.
Dude, the thing is, I think I've pinpointed what my biggest issue is with the difference between these two is when I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Remake and I'm fighting some epic boss or whatever, and for story reasons, I already feel like, oh, this is crazy. I'm going up against this, you know. I remember when I fought the Madhouse thing, right? I was like, oh my God, this is so awesome, right? So for story purposes, I already thought it was cool. Fine. But then along with that, forget that, the story, the music, I also, the battle felt like I had to work hard and it was challenging and I'm really strategizing. So while Final Fantasy 16, there was a battle I had recently with one, let's just say a dominant, you know, which was a really cool fight. But that was the cool part about it.
But it's cool visually. Fighting. It's not cool in mechanics.
It's cool because I'm fighting this character. They're an integral part of the story. The music's awesome. But then I'm like, okay, I'm pressing the same buttons. I'm doing the same It's like, I don't know. It's so strange, man. So I don't know.
Like they're not shifting in phases. Like even the first boss, remember the very first one, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and they only get better from there. But that very first one with the scorpion tail, there's multiple phases to that boss, and you have to play to its strength and weaknesses based on what it's currently doing. There's nothing like that in 16. It's like
I agree.
I agree. So it's a little shallow, yes. I really just like its story. Like, to be honest, this could just be a film and I'd be happy with it.
Sure.
Which is weird because, dude, I was so hyped, mainly just because of who was even making this game. Like, Yoshida is like God tier in my head of like what he did with 14, and I love 14. But it's like, it's almost, he's even taking the formula of an MMO in this game it sounds really weird, but on the level of the side quest stuff, that's some MMO bullshit of like, go grab these 3 things and hand them to these 3 people along your way from point A to point B. Like, really? It's so shallow and basic. Man. And it's like, why is this side quest that I'm doing? That's some MMO shit.
An interesting one. Well, I think anyone who is a Final Fantasy fan and acts like there's nothing wrong with this game is just lying to themselves, you know? I think we're both in agreement. We both still like the game. We're both gonna see it through.
I'm gonna play it. I do like it. I'm gonna finish it, but there's no way I'm like, again, I feel 7's pretty fair and maybe even higher than what I should be giving it, but yeah, I'm still in that 7 range with me, just because thankfully the visuals and the story is good. If it didn't have that, if it didn't have that, we'd be, I don't know, 4, 5.
I find that Clive and Sid are 2 of the stronger characters that I've seen in a Final Fantasy in some time. So yeah. But yeah, man, it makes me feel weird to talk about this game because I wish I could say something different. But yeah, we're gonna keep playing. We're gonna see how it goes. So I'm gonna have to take a week off because I'm gonna be away, but I'll keep trucking along when I come back. So
yeah, I'm playing a good amount of it. Like I said, 12, 13 hours in. I guess in about a week and a half. So I feel like I'm making decent time. Yeah. How long is this game? Like 30 hours, 40?
Some people have said if you do all the side quests, it could be up to 50. Some people have said typically it'd be like 30-ish. So we'll see.
I am doing all the side quests.
I am doing them too.
I don't, just because I'm craving it so hard.
I don't want to miss anything.
I really want to, I don't know, do everything I can in this game just because just isn't that deep anyway. So I might as well get as much as I can out of it.
That's exactly how I'm feeling too. I don't want to miss some I'm craving the good side quest so bad that I'm like, okay, I don't want to miss
But I
the
have
good
yet
side
to
quest
see
when
a
it pops up.
single good side quest, so I will
Me
say
neither.
that maybe I'm gonna give up and just mainline it and beat it.
Yeah, we
So,
shall see.
um, I didn't play too much of Diablo 4 this week because really just honing in Final Fantasy. Really want to have this beat. But Pikmin, after the Direct, they dropped a demo. They dropped it at like 8 p.m. a few nights ago. And I was like, okay, let me play this demo and then go to bed. I stayed up till 1 in the morning playing it. So I played 5 hours of it from like 8, right when it launched, all the way to like 1 something in the morning. And I almost finished all of it. I say all because there was a certain, I forget what they're called, the like Danabora battles or something. I don't know. If you ever played Pikmin 3, the bingo matches, they
those were fun.
basically have a more fleshed out version of that in this game, and it's even better here. They just title it something different. I forget how to pronounce it, but you play them up inside of the main story, or you can just access it from the main title screen and do specifically just that. I bring this up because I got a gold on one of them where I could have gotten a platinum, and I could have played it a few more times to try to get that platinum, but I left it at gold for right now. But everything else, I got every treasure and every other piece that I could do in this game outside of hitting platinum. So I might just go in there like today or tomorrow and just finish it out. That way I can say I'm completely done with the demo as much as I can. And I think I don't know if you can transfer the full save over to the full game, or if it just gets you certain items that you can transfer. I'm not quite sure in its wording there, but either way, I know stuff transfers. Let's look that up now because I do want to know.
Yeah, I want to see if it does or not.
See, it says, don't worry about starting over when the game releases in full. Players will be able to transfer their discoveries to Pikmin 4 when it launches on July 21st.
Great. Okay.
Does that mean just everything that I've done, or some of it? That's where I'm.
It seems like everything's going to transfer over. I don't see why it would only be some of it.
Because it says, don't worry about starting over. When the full game releases in full, players will be able to transfer the discoveries to Pikmin 4. So I guess that does sound like all of it. Okay. Either way, I'm telling you, get on this. It is incredible. I'm incredibly
I definitely will.
psyched for this game now. So much so that I'm playing 3. And by the time 4 comes out, hopefully I'll have 3 complete. I'm already day 9, and I've been playing the last 2 days on it. And it's such a good game. I haven't played it since it released back on Wii U. And I played bingo matches with my kid a lot, just as like a fun thing.
I used to love playing
over the years. But now I haven't played the campaign since it released back on Wii U. And that was like 10 years ago at this point. So, one, that's just crazy that it's been so long since we got one in the series. 1 and 2, I mean, I never had them on GameCube. I never really cared too much about them. And I have yet to ever go back and play them. So I probably, maybe once I beat 3, if there's even some time gap there, maybe I'll play 1 or 2. Because I am curious. Like, they look pretty rough. And the AI isn't nearly as good as what it is now. Right? But, I don't know. That could be interesting. They did drop them on Switch. And, you know, look a little better. Controls are a little better. So, maybe I'll do that. Either way. Yeah. Loving 3, but I just gotta say, like, that Pikmin 4 demo was like perfect, everything I could possibly want. The underground sections go way deeper than what I was expecting. There's actually multiple layers to the underground. It's not just, oh, you're underground and it's just one layer. Some of them there's like 2, some of them there's 3 tiers to it. And the amount of content that this demo provides, if you really want to just do everything and see everything this game has to offer without waiting for its release, you can really dig into this. And I don't know, I can't, it's hard to think of a single complaint I have against it. Visually, it's incredibly stunning. It's incredibly fun. There's a lot of strategy involved. It's definitely a lot harder than previous Pikmins. In the levels of, like, yeah, you could still technically, like, make it out alive each day. But if you want to collect everything and be efficient and not have Pikmin die and get a better score and be able to upgrade quicker and be able to get more resources and powers and capabilities and all of this, because you can level up different things of whether it's your dog or other characters that you find along the way. You basically have like a crew. You make a custom character in this game, and I love its creator is really, really cool. But no, when you pick a color, my suit, I had like purple suit with green hair is what I did. But I didn't realize that purple applied to everything. All your other crewmates wear purple suits. The ship is purple. So it applied to the whole shebang, which I thought was really neat. And dude, this is a perfect blend of like action and strategy. And I don't know, Nintendo game design is just top tier. And it really shines in this Pikmin 4.
I can't wait. Definitely going to enjoy that one.
Yeah. I mean, bring along your Switch. It's the easiest thing. You got your Switch Lite.
Yeah.
Just play that.
Oh, yeah. I'm bringing that with me on the trip, so I'll play some Zelda this next week. So,
all right. Just had to speak on that. I mean, I don't know. I'm playing Diablo 4. I just don't know what more to say on it than what I've already said, because it's just what you expect. It's just going through dungeons and grinding and finding awesome loot and killing awesome bosses, and I don't know, it's everything I wanted it to be, and it does a phenomenal job. I think it's best in the series, and it deserves all the praise you could throw its way. So
very cool.
Runs great, looks great. I don't know, I can't really think of anything negative about it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, let's get a new game watch, and we'll get out of here. Guilt, Xbox Series X and S, PS5, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, July 6th. The Legend of Heroes Trails into Reverie, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Switch, PC, July 7th. Oxenfree 2, Lost Signals, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Switch, PC, Mac, iOS, Android. Anything you could imagine, July 12th. And I did like the first one. Again, didn't love it.
Didn't love it.
I may get around to this. I may not. I don't know. I got too much to play right now to care. That's that.
Yeah, agreed. All right. Sounds great, man. Well, I look forward to, getting farther in Final Fantasy, seeing what we think, some big things happening, maybe some, big story beats and things like that and such. So, sorry, I was out of the frame.
But yeah, I mean, I like it. I feel 7's pretty fair. In the terms of like, I like it. Don't love it. I don't think it's like an excellent game or anything. But if you just, I was gonna say great action game, but it's not, because again, there's greater action games. But if you just want a great story and some fun combat, pick it up. It's cool. I don't know. It's so weird. It's very weird to talk on. But that's it.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure we'll have more to say next week. So
maybe I can have it done. I don't know.
Who knows, man? You'd have to put in some good work.
Yeah. All right. Till next time. See you guys.
All right, guys. Later.